Grace Straw Wilson. Historic local voice teacher, radio and television soloist, student of the legendary vocal teachers of her time. Outstanding performer since the age of 4 throughout the United States in a career that spans almost 90 years. She continues to share her vocal expertise even today at the age of 93. Born in Boalsburg, Pennsylvania, one of 3 daughters of Amos and Mary Ellen Straw, Grace sings her first note at the age of 4. Her reward, a bag of peanuts provided by a father who insists that his daughters receive musical training at the family's piano and reed organ. Grace first studies piano with May Scott and voice with Helen McGiffin. The gifted soprano becomes a feature at local churches, and at 25, she travels to New York City to study with Maestro Gennaro Kersey, brother of the famed opera star Golly Kersey. Herbert Miller of Chicago's Bush Conservatory is her next teacher prior to her return home to Jackson Street in Youngstown. She embarks on a teaching career in the late 20s. Her childhood neighbor and friend to this day, Helen Schmidt-Stilson, is her first pupil. Grace comes to the attention of Cleveland Institute of Music's Marcel Sausinger and becomes his student for 10 years. The legendary Boris Godolsky auditions and selects her to sing the Flower Maiden in Parsifal at a gala performance. The opera's German proves an easy task for Grace. Godolsky compliments her on her mastery of the difficult Wagnerian score. She meets her husband, Benjamin Franklin Wilson, while an employee of Ohio Edison. They marry, and she opens her first studio in the Keith Albee building. Her performing career continues as well, and she debuts with Walter Logan's Orchestra, broadcast on WTAM in Cleveland. Grace eventually airs her own program on WKBN called Silver Lining. She is featured on radio in Cleveland and Pittsburgh on a regular basis. Grace becomes president of the Ohio Music Teachers Association and serves in this capacity for 2 years. Grace is guest soloist in performances of Handel's Messiah nationwide. Carmen Ficocelli asked her to give a concert at St. Luke's Church with his 15-piece orchestra. Grace personally sells tickets at 25 cents each for these concerts. Local music critic Colonel Bowles attends the St. Luke concert and dubs it not just a Sunday school orchestra, but a little symphony. Grace does concerts in Dubuque, Davenport, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh, singing light opera and ballads of the day. Ficocelli asked her to do an hour broadcast on his Sunday program on WKBN Radio. Violinist Mike Ficocelli, returning from Italy where he has studied conducting, alternates with his brother on the violin during these concerts. A concert at Stambaugh Auditorium is a lifetime goal of the Ficocellis. Grace is to be their soloist when the concert becomes a reality. It is the birth of a nucleus group which will develop into the Youngstown Symphony Orchestra. Many of her students, among these Billy Bowmaster and Doris Lipka, eventually will sing with the Symphony Orchestra. 2 of Grace's earlier students, Dottie Weitzman and Eileen Farmer Crawford, continue to sing with the Saxon Club Chorus. Grace loses her husband in a tragic accident in 1949. Grace's fondest moments are filled with recollections of appearances on the Major Bowes Amateur Hour, meeting tenor Mario Lanza while acting as auditor at Mr. Godolsky's request in Pittston, Massachusetts, the summer home of the Boston Symphony. Ask Grace about her most precious recollections, and she talks of her teachers and her students, her studies, and the scores of legendary musicians and performers who inspired and nurtured her. Today, Grace busies herself creating lovely floral works and continuing to lend her expertise to young singers. Grace Straw Wilson, a life in the arts as performer, teacher, first lady of music, a life of giving and sharing that continues to this day.